Live from Crawford Studios.
It's CC, JDI.
What's good, my peoples?
How you doing?
What
What's
up,
up?
fellas? How y'all doing?
Going
Good.
on?
You doing okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. Excelente.
Golden Pony Boy.
Ha! That was a good. I haven't put that shit in a fucking minute. Yeah. The Wanderers, right? Not the
Nice.
Wanderers. That was, what was the movie was that?
I don't even know what that's from.
Pony Boy,
I
that's
say it all the
from-
time.
Yeah, Pony Boy, that's
Golden
not,
Pony Boy. What is that?
Patrick
I don't even-
Swayze, Ralph Macchio.
I think
Were you talking
Macchio,
about,
it was,
Yeah.
it was Ralph
Outsiders?
Macchio.
Is that Outsiders?
Outsiders, that's the one.
Yes.
Yeah, not the Wanderers. Outsiders. Wanderers is the lone gang movie. Yeah, back in the 60s.
No, that wasn't the Wanderers.
Which was the Wanderers?
That was the.
You sure?
It wasn't.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Wanderers.
Nope, you're right. Damn, what the hell's the Wanderers now?
I was just talking to somebody about
All
this.
I feel like if you're going to do a Stallone impression, you just go,
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
And now
You
they
gotta
got the
kill
new
the
movie
lip.
coming out about how he got the movie to become. Like
Mhm.
how he fought the studio. They would keep giving him the money, and then
Yeah.
he
Right.
said, "I was going to act." And they're like, "No, forget it. You're not doing it."
Right,
and the
right,
whole
right.
Thing. He
That's
wound up
right.
selling his dog for his money,
Yeah.
and then
Did
he
you
wound
see
up
the
buying the
trailer for
dog back.
Yeah.
You know
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
Bupkis in the movie is his real dog. In the movie, remember?
Oh, no
"Hey,
shit. I didn't know that.
Bupkis!" Yeah, that's his real dog.
No kidding.
Yeah, that was his.
Hey, yo, you
And he
think
still
we
has
get my
the tur-
real dog in the movie?
And he
Oh,
still has the
shit.
turtles too. Cuff and
Ha-
Link
The turtles,
from the movie.
they still alive?
Yeah, turtles live a long time.
Oh, yeah.
bro.
Yeah, but I thought tortoises lived a long time. I
Turtles
didn't
Say
know
in
that.
general,
turtles, too. I know
turtles live a
parrots
long
also.
fucking time.
Parrots, like,
No
it's like,
shit.
Yeah.
it's like if you get a parrot, like when you're like a baby, it'll die the same age you do, probably.
Wow.
They live like 80
Wow.
something years
Yeah,
old.
because what? Stallone is like 80
Certain
now.
parrots. I
Yeah,
guess
he's
it
gonna be
depends on the
80.
breed. But
Right?
Yeah.
It's going to be 80. I can't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
believe
yeah.
that, bro. That's just so
Right.
crazy.
And it's wild because it's funny. He looks better than Schwarzenegger.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
his body, like his build, how he stayed. Because according, well, I was talking to somebody about it today, and we were saying how Stallone still does the heavy
Right.
lifting and
Yeah.
the workout.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like he still works out hard.
Yeah, but
Plus-
he does roids too, though.
Yeah, but
Shut up.
Yeah, he
but
does.
yeah, Arnold doesn't do that. He also doesn't do any plastic surgery. Arnold. He doesn't.
Yeah,
look
no.
like, at least he doesn't
He
look
just-
like he
yeah,
does.
yeah.
He sticks to a regular workout, and,
Yeah.
and Stallone is admitted to the fact that he uses roids.
Oh, no shit. I didn't even
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but whatever. Hey, you know,
It's
guys,
not
look
like
at-
it's
yeah,
not like
listen.
he's competing. You know, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
still
you know,
fucking, and he's 80 years old. The
Yeah.
fucking guy is still going.
I mean,
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
Right.
If
And-
you're an actor and it's to keep up your appearance for work, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem. It's if you're like athlete and it's giving you unfair advantage, then it's like
yeah,
you
right.
should be doing
Well,
roids.
so now that you say that, I know we're supposed to start the show, but check it out
No,
real
that's
quickly,
all right,
right? You ready? There's a new league, sporting league,
yeah.
where everybody's on roids.
At least they're honest.
So you remember, like they were showing people that were all working out and what, like, you know, like they showed them like before and now how fucking jacked up.
Let's
and
do a
everything that they are.
roid baseball.
Yeah,
league.
exactly what it is,
The
bro.
ball,
They have all this thing. They had the swimmer and everything. I
they'll
think it
have
was.
to make the park bigger.
Yeah, yeah. Right back into the freaking
So the
thing.
home runs are a little
Yeah,
more
just
difficult.
a little
to
bit.
get.
Put a net to put up a net for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Vegas, bro. It was like where we in July now. I think it was in the beginning of June. Yeah, I was like, no
A
shit.
roid league.
Yep, and we were talking about this a while back,
Yeah.
man, like
Yeah,
a year
I think
ago.
we were.
Yeah, and we were talking about, I was like, fuck this. They should just have, like, just let them do the roids. They get paid enough money. They could take care of themselves on the other end. And here we go. They're fucking doing roids. So that's that bullshit because now I'm not going to get
So
paid
you
for my
seeded that
idea.
into the. You seeded that into.
Yeah, I
the,
did it to existence.
into
Yeah. The
existence.
Mandela effect.
Yeah,
I made it real.
yeah.
That is freaking craziness, man. That is insane. But yeah, that was funny. We just went through like 3 different fucking
right.
things. And
Hey, I have
And then
ADHD,
fucking
so that's
Lords
of
like part of the course for me.
Lords
Lords
of
of
Flatbush.
was
You
the
see,
name
we
of
went
the
back.
movie.
That was the name of the movie with Stallone
Okay.
that he was in a gang back in Brooklyn back in the day
Okay.
in Flatbush. That was it.
That's right.
Yeah. And it was Ken Wall. He was the other one that was in it.
There was a few
There's
actors
a
in
few
that movie.
good. Yeah.
And Stallone had Henry Winkler help him with the movie Rocky as well. Yeah,
I
he
didn't
was
know that.
involved in it. He
didn't
he had
know
an
that.
influence on getting that movie, helping him get it to go where he needed to go to the
Hey.
right people.
Yeah,
and
because of
everything.
Fonzie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fonzie.
Hey,
You know?
How you doing?
They're really good close. They're still to this day. They're still
No
close friends.
kidding.
Yeah.
Henry Winkler is such a nice guy. I don't know how he stayed hanging out with Stallone.
I think Stallone in general is a nice guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm
You
just talking shit because it's
you
just
know,
funny
he's,
right now. Because like Henry Winkler is like he's the poster child for like super nice people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen a couple things.
Yeah, everything I see with Henry Winkler, he like,
Seems like
oh my
the-
God, he's so great. He's so this, he's so that. So, he's nothing
I
like
remember
Fonzie.
when he got killed in Scream, the first Scream movie.
Oh,
Principal, remember?
yes. I forgot about that. Yeah. That's funny. That is freaking hilarious. But
I mean, if a high school kid's killer in a horror movie, you might as well take out the principal.
Oh, it's gonna
No
be right,
shit,
especially if he's a douchebag.
Yeah, no shit,
Right?
man. Yo, that is great.
So check it out.
All right.
So this episode, I remember watching or seeing a clip from the Joe Rogan show,
Okay.
and he did a thing about mad honey,
Mm-hmm.
and he had it, and he had his guests take it, do a spoonful. So we decided to do the same thing. We all took a teaspoon of
Mhm.
mad honey, and right now I'm feeling actually pretty relaxed. I don't feel, what did it say, about 90 minutes, give or take. But I mean, I feel good. I'm not, I don't feel anything. But anyway, we took it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about psychedelics and
Mhm.
benefits of that too, and the things that they're finding out now.
Right.
Yeah, I
that are
think
really
so. It's
helpful
really
with a lot of
important.
people. Huh?
I think the whole thing about psychedelics is very fascinating. The medicinal effects, really. I mean, they're talking about people who like cure mental illness things.
Right.
I know it was, my friend Suzanne. She told me she kind of her dyslexia is almost gone. Like she can read, start to read and stuff like that.
That's
Like,
amazing.
Get
man.
the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Well, what is she taking though?
So
Mushroom.
psilocybin.
That's what it, for the
Yeah,
psilocybin.
mushroom.
Psilocybin. That's the active drug that's in.
That's in
Mushroom.
mushroom.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
But they're finding out that what it does is it creates different neural pathways. Like
Right.
it opens up. So even people who have had strokes or haven't walked, even the same with LSD, they're
Right.
finding out that even too. Now, of course, they do microdoses, right? They're
Mhm.
not just giving them a full,
Right, of course,
They're
of
just
course.
doing super microdoses of the
Right.
stuff. And people go for therapy for it who may have had trauma in their life and things, and they're finding out it's helping because it helps the brain just open up more.
Right.
And where it and create neural pathways that weren't open before. Like people, I've even read something where people who were in a wheelchair and weren't walking
Right.
and took psilocybin, all of a sudden now they're starting to get feeling back in their legs and things of that nature. So they're finding out more and more things. And remember, these are natural things that mushrooms are natural.
Right.
And not only is it good for you and what it helps, obviously, and you can't really get too screwed up with it because usually if you're going for microdosing, they have therapists that will walk you through it or
That's
somebody
the best way to do it.
to have you walk you through you. So if you're starting to go off, like if you feel like dark things are starting to happen,
Right.
they kind of guide you back on the path so you don't go down that road. Where
No
your mind
shit.
is, yeah. So it helps out. Even dolphins mess with pufferfishes because there's a toxin that they give off. And they know exactly
Yeah.
how much to bite. They don't kill it. They just bite it enough to
Right.
get the toxin to come out. And they do it to get high.
What?
Swear to God. I was watching a whole thing on it, and they all do it. They know exactly how much to get to squeeze it enough to get the toxin to come out, and they take it, and they're swimming around on a buzz, man. Doing their thing. That shows you how intelligent they are.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's like swimming in the ocean
That's what I'm thinking, bro. Like it must be
on
insane.
mushrooms.
on mushrooms
Yeah,
as a dolphin.
As a dolphin.
As a dolphin.
Yeah, that is freaking
You know-
hilarious.
The thing about psychedelics, or you talk about psilocybin specifically,
Right.
though, is people have reported that it's cured a lot of their mental illness issues with things that would take years through therapy.
Oh God, yeah.
And
Drugs
so-
that just aren't that great to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, there's all side effects and shit like that from
Right.
a lot of. And I'm not trying to say anybody shouldn't be taking it. If you got to do whatever you got to do to
To make you all
help
right.
Right, of
yourself.
course.
Right.
I'm not saying
But if
don't
you-
take. I
but
know
just-
there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, you got to do psilocybin, so fuck the
Yeah, no.
pharmaceuticals. If
Yeah,
the
no, no,
pharmaceuticals
no,
is
no.
working for you,
Right.
then
No.
do it.
Fine.
But what I'm saying is I'm all about alternative ways of doing things, just because I don't want to be taking a medication the rest of my life. So if there's an option where I don't have to take a medication the rest of my life, I'm gonna fucking take it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Will it work? TBD.
Yeah.
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 To be
TBD.
determined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still going to therapy while
Right,
you're doing
exactly.
this, which is
And that's why I think the psilocybin on its own, yeah, it's therapeutic. But if you have like a guide or something like
right.
people do, ayahuasca is another one.
Right.
That's a very popular one. The only problem I have with ayahuasca is they say that it will make you vomit every time. Like
Yeah,
that's part
but
of the
then-
experience.
And then all of a sudden you're just like
they call it the purge or whatever.
Right.
But
Really? That's
that's why I don't like. I don't
yeah,
like
what the
that
fuck outta
part.
here.
what the
That
throwing up part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
get
not
it.
feeling that. Because then the side effect of that is as you puke, and if you say you do it 2 or 3 times a week,
No, well, you're not going to.
Yeah,
First of
no,
all, when you trip on that stuff anyway,
I think that's
Oh,
like
not
a-
medicinal.
no,
I-
that's medicinal, but no. So when you do it,
you just do it like once,
it's
blue
not
moon.
every
Oh.
week.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's like
it
a
might be
one-time thing, maybe once every
month,
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought
Especially
you
if you
meant
do
sometimes
it
the
with
one.
therapists.
Gotcha.
You know, and
the
you're
one off.
right, and you're
That's it.
microdosing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that like, you got it like this was the medicinal
No, it's a
using
daily
it,
thing. This is
medicinally
like
using it and that, you're
more,
going to throw
you
up.
do like
So I'm
an
like, well, you can't
experience like
fucking do
one,
that because
Right.
that'll burn out your fucking esophagus and
Yeah. No, you don't want
You'd be like a
all that
bulimic
shit.
person, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Right. That's wild. So now, have you guys heard of any of the side effects? See, so I know nothing about any of this shit. You guys know that. So
Well-
that then, what kind of side effects have you heard that people may have from any of this?
Well, you could take too much of something.
Right. Fair
and
enough. Right. That's why
you
you said
are-
microdosing first. But with the microdosing, are there any kind of side effects? Is it, like
Yeah,
do
you're
people
gonna
sick?
you're gonna trip. You're gonna feel emotional. Like I know when I took psilocybin, the last time I took it, I
Right.
ate the whole bar. All right,
Right.
and I was tripping balls, but I was having a good trip.
Right.
But I was listening to music.
Right.
I had my headphones on. I was crying and laughing at the same time because it wasn't like a bad.
I remember
it was
you
like
told
I
us
was
that
so,
shit.
It was
Yeah.
emotional, but to the point where it was like it felt good. Like your
Right.
your emotions start to take over, and and the main idea too is, and I ChatGPT this, you need to let go of the ego.
Right.
So what a lot of people do is when they're tripping, especially if they're not experienced in it, not that I'm experiencing it, but they say, don't fight it.
Right.
You'll make it worse. So if you're trying, like after you do it and you're like, now you're trying.
because you're gonna get
Oh.
yourself paranoid and
Right,
freak the fuck out.
It's just to let yourself go, let it go, and just let it happen.
Let it
And
go.
it'll just start
Let it go.
doing its thing. And you'll start seeing colors, you'll start seeing streams, you'll start, the music
Right.
or whatever it is how you do it. Or if
Mhm.
you have a trip sitter and they help you walk you through it.
Right.
I know they do the same thing with peyote. You could do that. Like the American Indians, they do their own thing. That if you want to get real peyote, you got to go through the American Indians to get it. You can't get it, but you can get it in mescaline,
Right.
which is the lab version.
Right.
Yeah, they
Go ahead.
only because there's only a certain amount of it, so like it's only for the indigenous people. Like
Right.
you can't just buy it.
Right.
I mean,
I'm sure
So-
you could if you knew somebody.
yeah.
You could
Yeah.
get it and do it along with them, but that's also supposed to be a very spiritual awakening as well. So it's and a lot of that stuff has been going on since the beginning.
Of everything.
right.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even animals were eating this
Yeah,
stuff.
never
You know what I
mind it.
mean? So it wasn't. So it was there, and it was there for a reason, obviously.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
So you said that MESC is the lab version of that.
right, and the American Indians are okay with that. I was watching this whole program where this guy was saying, we don't have a problem if people want to do mescaline because
Right.
that's fine, but they can't get the peyote unless, of course, they do it with them.
Right.
Like, if
Right.
they
Yeah.
are,
You got to
they
come
go-
into the.
and you
If
do
it's
it
like-
come
along
to the
with their
powwow
whole
and shit.
ritual right, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah, because there's only a limited amount of it, and I think it grows like really slow.
Right.
No,
And they
It's
don't
not like it's
yeah.
not like like it takes a long time for it to
Right.
grow because it's a cactus, right?
Yeah, some kind of.
Cactuses take a lot of water, so
Right.
they do grow slow. Cactuses, so
And
that makes
they're
sense.
more out west, right? I believe.
Yeah,
Is where
it's-
it's more
yeah, but the
grown,
desert. Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Arizona and
Yeah, in the desert. Yeah.
those areas there is where they have it. So, but if you get a trip sitter, somebody who's going to walk you through it, which is good because you're talking to somebody. The whole thing is to be able to talk and laugh and cry, whatever
Right.
it is that you're going through.
Yeah.
It is in a sense an awakening. It kind of helps you can't avoid whatever you're feeling inside.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? Like and that's the whole point. I
No,
was
if
saying
it's
earlier.
happening, it's happening. You
Right, it's
can't-
happening. Just
you
let it
fight
happen.
You're gonna end
But
up.
that's the whole part of the right. the
That's
whole
when people are like, "Oh my god, I saw spiders crawling on the wall
Right.
on my face."
Right.
It's like because you're fighting it. Like just relax.
So
just
so
have the experience and let it happen.
so
you know
both
what
of you guys have done it, yes?
I've done psilocybin a couple of times.
Yes.
All right.
I've also
so,
done mescaline.
all right. So now
Has
when
been a while,
you've
though, I
done
haven't
it,
done
when you've done it and
Yeah.
you had your trip, right? You saying let go and just like enjoy the experience.
Right. Don't be tense.
Right.
Relax. Let
So
it
then-
happen. Listen to whatever it is you're listening to or
Bef-
watching.
Before you took it, did you try to make yourself be in a good place? Like like laughing or like were you
Well,
watching something
you
on
wanna
TV
make sure
that
you
would bug
are
you
in a
out?
good
Like,
You
space
just
before
want to
you
make
take
sure
off.
you're not having a bad day.
Yeah. Don't
or,
take
Right.
it if you're in a
you know,
bad day.
okay, that's what I'm saying.
something you're worried about, or you're worried about something, or you got a big
Stressing
event
out.
coming on, or like something. Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah. You don't want to do that.
So you want to take
So
it.
make sure you're in a good headspace. That's
So
all.
Yeah.
before you even take it, be in a good good
Right.
space.
You want to make
Okay.
sure
You
you're
don't have
in
to
a
be
good
like
space.
in a perfect, just
Right,
you know,
right,
maybe you
right,
don't got
right.
no shit going on.
Yeah,
no
you want to be in
drama,
a
no
good day.
shit.
Yeah, you want to have had it, like you said, a
I'm
good
gonna
day.
sit back and relax.
Yeah.
Right.
My wife, she trips at me once, and she fell asleep the first time I did it, and she woke up. God, are you all right? I'm laughing, and I got tears coming down out of my face, rolling down
I
my
remember
eyes.
you told us
She's
that
like,
shit.
"You're crying and you're laughing at the same time." Like, I know this is amazing. I'm bugging out. I was like tripping my balls off, but it was good because I was just letting it happen,
Right.
and I was in a good space. And I knew she was there with me, so I knew that
Right.
if
You knew you were
something,
safe, if anything.
I was
Right.
safe. And then they
Yeah.
always say that, make sure you're doing it with somebody who's around that can be with you, who can walk you through it in case you kind of go off the trail
Right.
and you're going in a different
Okay,
direction.
The
okay.
thing I think there's a lot of misconception about psychedelic, and like the big misconception is like they compare it to like hardcore drugs and the problem is the legal system hasn't caught up to it yet.
It's
But
getting there, though.
But the thing is first of all, it's not addicting. You can't get addicted to psychedelics. Like they're just not addicting. Like it's just,
Right.
but are they dangerous? Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't, get in your fucking car and take, a strong psychedelic but
Dose
like,
and then freaking go drive somewhere.
but like it's not like a dangerous in the fact that like a lot of people don't realize like there is like you're in control of yourself. You're not
Right.
like gonna like wander off or jump
Right.
off the fucking balcony or something like
Right.
that doesn't happen with
But everything is heightened. Your senses are heightened.
yeah, of course.
Your sight, your hearing, your feelings.
When you're doing the shrooms.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right.
It really is. It's an amazing trip. And if you do it right, now I know people who have done it and have gotten really sick on it because they did the opposite. They were in the right head. They were already paranoid. They were ready to
Mhm.
take it, and they screwed it up, and they were fucked for the rest of the night. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
You can't do that. You
Gotcha.
have to be in the right mindset. You don't want to be in a bad mood or sad or down or any of that. Now, when they do it in therapy, they microdose it, right?
Right.
And they're sitting there with you, so it's like a trip sit, but it's your
Yeah.
therapist.
Right. Right.
So whatever emotions you're going through, it helps you get through them and talk or whatever. I think they even do it with the LSD. They're doing microdosing now too, which is also a huge thing that they're finding out is very helpful. Also opens up different neural pathways and things of
That's
that
the
nature.
thing, yeah.
That opens up the brain and just
But
lets you
now-
start.
Well, LSD is addicting though, right?
No, you could take too much of it and do it all the time.
Well, I'm
but
saying,
it's not
well,
it'll
all right,
fuck
Like
you
you're
up.
not like, oh, I got to give me some else.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
No, it's not like that.
All right. Well, then, all right. So we'll go by what the myth was, what I believed, what I thought it was.
Right.
That, microdosing, you're cool, whatever, if you don't like have that addictive personality, whatever. But now you're saying taking the LSD. Now, again, this is something that we had spoken on a show back when.
Yeah, way back. Yeah.
That
Season
we
one.
remember the PSAs were like don't do these drugs because it's addicting and you'll end up like this crackhead and you're gonna be homeless
Right.
and you're gonna be the junkie and that that's when they were like the hippies were the bad
Yeah.
people and shit and you just become lazy and
Right.
smoking the weed and everything.
Yeah.
So then my question is you're hallucinate.
Hallucinogenic.
Hallucinations.
right.
Yeah. Your hallucinations and stuff like that would be more because you took too much, because you did too much, because you're in a bad headspace. Like all the things that
No,
they say about,
Hallucinations will happen.
right?
But again, like you just said, if you're in a bad headspace, and LSD is a powerful hallucinogenic,
Uh-huh.
and you don't want to just, if you have never done it before,
Right.
and I've spoken to people about this, they're like, you have to microdose it
Right.
before you do it. And they say the same thing with shrooms, but they're two different things, you know what I mean? So you're going to get a totally different trip on
Roger.
LSD. Now, I've never done LSD. I would like to try it. I'd like to microdose it
Right.
and check it out. But it allows you to get in touch with things or come to terms with things that you haven't had, whether it's emotional or things that happen in your life that you had trauma to get through that trauma, to talk
Really?
through it.
That far back, I think.
That does.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Now, I'm not interested in that either,
I-
but I'm saying it's good for people who they've helped people
because
with that
the
kind
thing,
of stuff.
the problem with LSD is like that.
I just want to trip balls.
It's hours.
Yeah, it's hours. It's like a whole 8 hours. It's the same with mescaline.
8 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. Like,
You're not sleeping.
Yeah.
You're not
that's
sleeping.
no.
Mescaline, you're tripping balls
Mm-hmm.
all day. I've done mescaline when I was younger. I haven't done it in a
Because
long
you have
time.
to think about things like work and stuff. And,
Yeah,
it's like
right.
you don't know how long it's going to last. It's
Right.
like,
It's a whole night thing. It's an all night thing.
Yeah. So you
Gotta
gotta do
make
like
sure
on a
you're on-
Friday
Now with
night.
shrooms,
Make
it's
sure you're
like
on vacation.
anywhere I think for 4 to 6 hours, and you might still have residuals, but you're coming down off of it,
Gotcha.
and you're not getting a hangover or anything like that. So
right.
I just pulled something up. I just wanted to read. in reference to so rewire. So shrooms or psilocybin mushrooms
Yes.
help people primarily by rewiring the brain
Yes.
neural
I've spoken
pathways
about that a
to
lot.
treat severe mental health and substance abuse disorders. So
Yeah.
it also
actually
helps
treats
if
substance
you are
abuse.
on substance
That's
abuse.
That's right.
It'll help you
I
with
forgot
that.
about that.
Yes, so let me read it.
What?
With administered in a controlled clinical settings alongside psychotherapy, the active compound psilocybin has also historic success in breaking deep-rooted negative behavior patterns.
Yeah.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration,
wild.
FDA, has now granted breakthrough therapy status to fact-check psilocybin is assisted with psychotherapy trials due to profound medical potential.
No shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like people like instead of like heroin addicts having to take fucking methadone all the
Right.
fucking time, they can do like a guided like psychedelic trip and like they can overcome their addiction,
Right.
which is amazing.
That's
Which I'm
wild.
sure it's a couple of therapy sessions, but I'm sure
Because that I know it's a considered a treatment, but it fucks people up.
So
Well,
then
this
it's
either
better
way-
than,
Shit like
than
that.
methadone.
Sorry,
No,
go
sorry. So then it's better than methadone,
Yeah.
well, check this out.
Yeah.
Marijuana
right?
has helped people
Yeah,
get
that
off
too.
of opioids easier than trying to just
Yeah.
go cold turkey.
Yeah.
So they find that marijuana actually helps people, and then they don't go back.
and that's the
So that's
problem.
that it helps them gradually get off of it in a
No shit.
better way, and
Yeah.
and it eases them off of it, and they don't have the same side effects as they would do
Isn't
like
it
cold turkey.
crazy? Isn't it crazy how we
amazing.
grew up in an era where like all drugs are bad, and then we're finding out maybe not. Maybe
Right.
they're not all bad.
Well,
you
but
know?
then too, don't forget.
But they could be bad if you're using it the wrong
Well, yeah,
way.
if you're using
Right.
yeah.
Well, don't forget, we've heard and we've, and I said in the shows that we did in
Just
the past about
say
this shit.
no.
Right.
Yeah, just saying no was like because, that was big pharma and
Yeah.
don't use the drugs and whatnot because,
That was during the Reagan administration.
yeah. And,
right.
probably,
Just
and
saying
before
no.
that, actually,
Just
because that was in the
say
70s.
no.
Yeah, that was Nancy Reagan.
Yeah.
But it was still about, it was still the leftover thought process of drugs, of the LSD, of the, any kind of drug
Right.
in the 60s and 70s
Right.
and how people got
And a
high
lot of
and
that
what they were
stuff
gonna look
was
like.
all created.
Propaganda.
You know,
it was
No,
you
it
know,
was
and
all
you know
made
the
in a
thing was-
lab, and
the-
it
you know what the
wasn't,
thing that
it's not
annoys me?
natural.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
well.
get a little off topic, but
No,
it just
no, go
annoys
ahead.
me. They hold that old just say no,
right.
and then they were giving money to the Contras
To bring in the
to
cocaine.
bring in the cocaine. Yeah.
Right, to
The
make the
government
drugs.
was like, yeah, bring that shit in because we're going to work a deal with you. Just say no.
yeah. But they were using coke in a lot of different drugs, though, and legal
Yeah.
drugs, right? Weren't they?
I mean, yeah, back in the turn of
Right, I'm
in
saying,
the
yeah, no,
early
back in the day.
1900s.
I mean,
Like, they were using
Coca-Cola
that.
back
I mean,
in the
yeah.
day.
Well,
had-
yeah,
originally had
Do you know
cocaine
what?
in
That's
it.
why I never put the fucking two together about
Yo, you're
Coca-Cola.
funny,
I'm
dude.
so fucking stupid.
Bro.
I'm like, Coca-Cola, coca leaf,
Even marijuana
cola. It
was-
that's why
That
it's
is
called that.
fucking
But even
hilarious.
Coca-Cola.
marijuana was
Funny.
legal too back in the day.
Right, yeah.
Because you can
and
get
drinks.
it, you can get it at your drugstore. But then, of
Right.
course, things progressed.
Right.
It became a no. We
Mhm.
gotta ban all
Right.
this stuff, and then it
Right.
became
Yeah.
illegal. And then if you got caught with it, and then
Right.
you
And
know,
they even stopped using it because they were using the everything. They were using the whole plant. And that's so they had clothes and hemp clothes, they had
Hemp,
the
yeah,
shoes.
right.
well, we
They
did that.
had
We did an
bags.
episode on that too.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had all that stuff.
Paper. Now
Mhm.
they find that they can make toilet paper out of
Right,
hemp because
yeah.
it grows so
Yeah.
much. You could just
Yeah.
grow it and grow it. Bamboo as well.
Bamboo. Yeah, listen.
It
I
just grows.
I would love if I had property,
Yeah,
I would
hemp,
do that bamboo,
and
fucking
cotton are like the three
shit. Right.
like
yeah.
major like
And hemp.
fibers that
And hemp,
use so
right.
much.
And
That's why
hemp.
you
But-
get hemp, bamboo,
as
and
well.
fiber.
Yeah.
Right.
They
I
will,
mean, that's the
hemp,
shit,
bamboo,
man.
and cotton.
they
and
will
that's
grow
why.
like nobody's business.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So that then the conspiracy thought process
Right.
was between big pharma, just big business
Right.
as a whole, where they suppress people listening, paying attention, going to buy, these drugs, these things, using them, made them illegal.
Did you know that Ford, the motor company,
Okay.
back in the day,
Right.
I'm going to say like 40s, 50s,
Right.
were working on making cars out of hemp, using them, and they used to hit them with hammers and they wouldn't break because they were so strong and everything like that.
I never
But it
heard
got pushed to the wayside. They didn't let
sorry.
him do it.
I'm
He was going
thinking
to
of-
grow farms of hemp and use it to
I'm
have
thinking of
cars
Cheech
made
and
out of
Chong,
that instead of metal.
The
'cause-
truck in Cheech and
Yeah.
Chong
Yeah.
is made of
Make it out of that because it was
I
lighter,
never heard that.
but it
bro.
was just as strong, if not stronger,
Get the fuck
than the
out
metal.
of here.
Yeah, I was reading the whole thing on it the other day.
I
I was
never
like,
heard
holy
that
shit,
before.
I didn't know that.
Never heard that before. I've only heard,
But
like you
it
said,
didn't
the corn
go
oil and shit, but-
because, for whatever reason,
but
Well,
you
because
know
it's
why.
oil. You said that's the whole thing, man. It's everything that's not going to last long enough for you not to have to buy another one. Does that make sense?
right, they
You know what I
want to
mean?
make sure
So you
that
want to make sure, like, this light bulb is only going to last for 2,000 hours. So then this way you have to go and buy another light bulb.
And they knew
You know what I
then
mean?
that they could actually make it last for
For
almost
longer.
forever or longer.
By the
Right.
way, speaking of that, not to digress too much, but France signed a bill making it illegal for companies in their country, of course, not for planned obsolescence, because that's what fucking companies do. Like iPhone, they
Or they corner
plan
the market,
something to
right?
become obsolete from 2 years from now, so they can keep selling it. So they made it illegal. The first country to do that. Hopefully, other countries start adopting that. Especially if they do it all in Europe, they're going to have to, because it's a major market, they're going to have to change.
Agreed.
So that's very important. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, we
Jeez.
need to pass legislation in the United States. No, you don't. If you plan it somewhere else, they can't make two
Right.
separate things. It's not, so.
Well, I mean, but it's also one of those things too. Look at how many things
So-
that the United States lets happen here,
Yeah.
drug wise and stuff
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
don't happen
yeah.
in other countries.
Yeah, but
So,
something like tech stuff, like because they sell, so like kind of like with iPhone, they had their lightning charger cables, and now they're going to USB-C because Europe made
Right.
it standardized. So now
Right.
they're just like, oh fuck it, I guess we got to do
we're
it
gonna have
everywhere
to do
now.
it. Yeah.
So if they if they pass this law for, I know we're getting off topic.
No, no,
no,
This
no, no.
law for where they make it illegal for planned obsolescence, that means that that could change a lot of things, because that's the biggest problem is
Right.
these companies.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's the thing,
You know.
because they want to corner the market and they don't want anybody to go
It's like,
outside
Why
of
don't
the
you just
norm,
make
Yeah.
shit that's
and then
good
they're making the money.
Right.
and then
And the governments do
there's
the
other
same
ways
thing.
to make money without
Right.
having to have planned obsolescence.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So let me just read a little bit more about this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Then we'll,
You're reading really well today too.
End of life existential anxiety. Research for institutions like Johns Hopkins Medicine show that psilocybin, dramatically eases existential dread, anxiety, depression, and patients facing terminal illnesses like advanced cancer, overcoming addiction, PTSD traumas, and treatments like resistance to depression. Clinical studies show that just 1 or 2 guided psilocybin sessions can produce massive, rapid reductions in depression symptoms, providing relief and lasts for months where traditional antidepressants fail.
There it is.
Unbelievable. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm telling you, man, it's insane.
Months
Listening
or
to you guys talk
permanently
about
in
this
some
shit.
cases.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, listening to you guys, because I said I don't know anything about any of this stuff. That's why I'm asking so many
Right.
questions. But it's like everything that I've ever heard and or known about, as far as these drugs are concerned, I'm like, so now I mean, I guess it's like anything else. It's how you use it
Right.
that could then benefit, mankind. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make things easier, make things better. Like the shit, what was it? This honey? What's it called? The what honey?
Mad honey.
Mad honey. So now you have that, mad honey. They can put these things in it. You can have it with your morning tea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can have it with, on your Cinnabons. You know what I'm saying? You could have all that healthy shit and have this drug.
The interesting thing about mad honey is the reason why it's illegal is the way it works. It's actually considered a neurotoxin.
Right.
So because it doesn't work the same way that like
Other
psychedelics work,
right.
like
So how does this work?
well,
well, it's a neurotoxin. I forget how psychedelics work. I forget. I was reading it. Like it has something to do with sodium or something. And sodium, I forget what it got really technical when I looked it up on ChatGPT. But like it had something to do with like something in the brain. But like mad honey's a little bit different because it's a weak neurotoxin. So it makes you relax and it
Right.
can make you hallucinate in some cases. Not all the time, but in
and
some
it depends on the
cases.
potency of that batch they get too.
Right.
Because sometimes each batch they get, because it's from bees.
So, all right, wait. So
So each one could be a little bit stronger than the other, meaning the mad honey. Each batch
Really?
could be different. It could be less, weaker,
so
or
then
stronger.
there's no regulating how potent you can get that shit.
Right.
How do they know how potent it is? Or they don't even
You won't know. Well,
I'm saying, so I'm sorry. So my question would be like, so you get the jar of the honey
right.
and it doesn't say, like 80 proof.
So no.
Yeah, it's not like and it's not like
Right, it's not
cannabis,
like,
you go to like a dispensary. it'll
tequila or
say-
something
Yeah.
like that. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, they should have it lab tested.
Well, this is what I got here. It says
Okay.
consumed in strict minimal doses, typically less than a single teaspoon. Mad honey is highly valued in local communities and alternative medicine for several therapeutic effects. These benefits stem from both the natural nutrients of raw honey and the psychological impact of gray anatoxins, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hypertension management, one of the most common uses of mad honey is regions like Turkey, is an alternative treatment for blood pressure. Gray anatoxins exert natural vasodilatory, sorry guys, affect relaxing blood vessels, improving circulation, and lower blood pressure. Also for gastrointestinal relief and sexual performance.
I am
Sexual
bloated.
performance across the Himalayas and the Black Sea region. Mad honey has a centuries old reputation as a potent aphrodisiac. Its ability to increase blood flow through the body is believed to naturally enhance stamina and sexual function.
Now, is it
Honey!
only? Yeah, you stupid. Now she's gonna come downstairs. Like, what happened? Are you guys okay? Yeah. So now, is it by the potency? So like
I
right
would
now,
imagine they would know whoever is, if you're getting it or using it.
Right.
However, like I guess it's in different places, like they said, Turkey and other
Right.
origins. So I don't know how much. It doesn't say how much to take, but usually it's less, teaspoon or less is what you're taking.
right?
Any more than that, you'll get negative effects. So you want to stay within the
Yeah, because it's a neurotoxin.
right. You don't want to go too much because you can get nauseous, you
Right.
get sick.
If you eat like 3
And
jars, you might
Yeah,
die.
you're probably
Yeah,
gonna
right,
die.
right. I'm sure. Yeah, like
You don't want to
anything
take
else.
more than that.
Yeah,
Whatever the recommended amount. So they say a teaspoon is the most you should be taking.
got it. That's insane that you guys that you guys are telling me this shit is a fucking neurotoxin.
It's amazing though, right? Because you think about it,
Because like I was like, wait, what? Because again, for
honey
me,
of all things.
right, of honey, but
It's because of the
insane.
flowers that they're pollinating it
Right.
from, and that's how it's created.
Right. So then now if we go to, and wherever that they're growing cannabis, that now you have the bees that are going there, you get that honey.
You can do that as well. You
So
can get honey
then-
from cannabis. They can have bees that have made honey from cannabis.
Well, what's that flower? My God, I used to have one growing in my front yard. They make a specific heart medication out of it. Digit something. I forget it's a flower, and it's poisonous, but they make heart medication out of it because it lowers your heart rate. But
Really?
it's low amounts. It's
It's
heart
helpful.
medication.
What?
Wow.
In what the hell is can you look it up? Flower that is used for heart medication. It's it's a perennial.
So that people have it like growing in front of their house
I
kind of
had
shit?
it in front of my house, but it's a nice flower. It's a
So-
beautiful flower. But it could be used for heart medication. But
But what kind of poisonous is it? Like, so obviously
lowers
it's
your
not that
heart
you can
rate?
turn around and touch it.
Several flowers are recognized for
Wow.
supporting cardiovascular health, acting either through a daily dietary support or as a baseline source
one?
for so hawthorn flower,
No, that's not the one.
crataceous, primary benefit, hibiscus,
Not hibiscus.
that's another one, and foxglove.
Foxglove, that's the one.
Foxglove,
It's a very beautiful flower. It's a perennial, but it's a 2-year perennial, so it only grows. So you grow
Corrects
2 of
life.
them and alternate years to grow.
it says it corrects life-threatening irregular heartbeats
Yeah.
and advanced heart failure.
Yeah,
How
it's a
it
really.
works.
It makes I forget what it's called. Digit something or.
This is strictly a pharmaceutical source and must never be consumed raw. It
Yeah.
is highly toxic.
yeah,
The
it's got
plant
to be
produces complex
low-
chemicals called cardiac glycosides. Laboratories extract these, create digoxin.
Is that what it's called? I
It's
don't know.
digoxin, so digoxin. there's no-
Digoxin or
no.
something like
Digoxin?
digoxin. Yeah,
Regulated-
digoxin. Yeah,
Yes,
digoxin.
that's it.
Modern medication prescribed to slow electrical heart impulses and maximize the pumping power of heart failure.
Yeah. So, but it's like it has to be a really small amount
Right.
extracted.
It's
If
gotta be
you-
regulated.
If you try to even take a small amount, you could poison yourself.
Right.
Like it's done in a pharmaceutical where they extract a
Lab,
small
and all that
amount of it.
So then, how did you have it growing in front of your house
Oh,
when
you
you
can-
touched
we
it and you
Yeah,
weeded
it doesn't
stuff and-
not. It's only if you ingest it, so you can
Oh,
touch it.
only
like-
ingesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
only if you
okay. I was gonna
ingest
say
it.
like
Yeah,
fuck.
No, you can't, it's not like through the skin or anything like that. Just
Okay.
if you ingest it. So as long as
Now-
you don't eat it, you're fine.
Right.
They're beautiful flowers, but it's the only thing that I hadn't. I didn't realize that they're 2-year perennial. So
Mm.
every other it doesn't come back. It's like, oh, now I got a void.
Yeah. That's fucking hilarious. That is
Now-
insane.
Tom and I were talking about something that people also take, but it's not necessarily a trip that you're having, but more so going to a different dimension.
Yes.
DMT.
Yeah.
Where people have gone. I was watching this. I saw the video he was
DMT.
talking about where if you keep taking it, you're actually a place where there's other higher
They say
beings.
people say they experience entities.
Right.
But there's been a lot of videos, and you could look it up, where they say the entities lock them out, and then they can't trip anymore.
They
Like,
tell
they'll
you
try
lock
tripping
out. You're
again.
done.
They
You
say
can't
you're
come
banned.
back.
They tell them you're banned.
You're banned. You can't
You're
come
banned
back.
from the realm or whatever.
So
the
why were
fuck
they
it is.
banned? Like, is it because
And I've heard stories where someone said like something fucked up to one of the entities, and they're like, you don't belong here. You're out, and you're banned. And then they try doing it again, and they
off of just that stuff, or they can't trip to
Off
go
the-
to that place?
yeah they do the DMT and nothing happens.
So they don't even get a little buzz.
No.
They don't get no kind of high,
No.
just straight flat.
That's where you're like, wait a sec. Maybe there's something, some
Hmm.
kind of fucking
Something to this.
spiritual shit. There's something
Yeah.
else to it. Like, what's going on here? Like,
Hmm.
maybe you are going, maybe you're tripping. You actually
So-
are going to another realm. You know, who
so
the fuck
check
knows?
this
you know?
out.
I don't know, but
Okay.
that's weird. Like,
That's-
you're banned, and then all of a
But
sudden
you
you
cut
can't
off.
go.
So you're locked out.
Right. Okay. Go ahead. What'd you
That's
find?
freaking crazy, right? Because now this is beyond an actual trip. You're actually
Right.
going outside of what you normally are used to seeing every day with your own eyes.
But so now when you do it, so you're basically you're laying it, like you take it, you're hanging out in the house, you're on your couch.
I
And
think
it's
it
like
only
an
lasts like
out-of-body
I think it
experience
only
kinda
lasts like
shit?
15 minutes. It doesn't last that long. You could smoke it. I think you could smoke
I don't know.
DMT.
But it's like an out of
I
body
just hear
experience
about
kind
it,
of
but
thing.
I don't know anything about it. Huh?
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying
would
if it's an
imagine. I've never
out-of-body
done
experience.
it. I've never done it before. So
No. I
don't
mean
know.
like what people have said. Where are you getting the info from? Chat?
I'm checking it out.
No, I say are you on chat?
No.
I've seen
DMT,
videos on it. You know, people talk about it.
dimethylthyroid, DMT
Right.
helps people primarily by
No one knows
rapidly
it by its full
rewiring
name.
brain networks to treat severe treatments of resistant depression and anxiety, known as the spirit molecule. The potent psychedelic compound triggers intense, short-duration psychological experience that can break long-standing rigid patterns of negative thinking. The medical community has increasingly embraced DMT. For example, the FDA has granted breakthrough therapy designations to small molecule DMT formulations for clinical trials targeting major depression disorder.
Like I said, they're finding psychedelics because we were talking about earlier, opening up neural pathways.
Right.
So is a science behind it.
Right.
You know, it's not just about, oh, cool, look at the colors.
Right.
Like that's recreational use, but there's actual medicinal use for it. You know, the recreational use is just because, oh, I want to see stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that, you know, but there's actual like not just psychological help.
But it helps
therapeutic.
reverse things like if you're in a
Yeah,
real
that's very
Right.
cool. I
severe
think that's
depression or anything,
very-
and it
Yeah,
just
it rewires you kind
Yeah.
of shit. Well, then now, so for you, Tom,
Mhm.
I'll ask this. Well, both you guys.
Okay.
Right. So now here it is again, you know, like I started to say before, we've heard the studies of, you know, and the military taking people or, you know, just,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, taking, you know, soldiers or criminals, the people that are locked up, got life in jail or whatever. And they're giving them all this LSD. What I'm saying, like, I guess they didn't know about the microdosing back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So then now they're giving them doses of all this, you know,
Well, they knew about
LSD
it,
and all
but
that other stuff.
But they gave it to them in larger quantities.
Right, to see what it was. So that then now you guys reading on this stuff, could it be that now it's where people are like, yo, we can really do this to help the world out?
Yeah.
I guess I know it sounds crazy, I guess.
No,
it
well,
sounds like a dead end
therapy
thing,
is
but
a good thing, right? Therapy alone is a good thing if you go to therapy, right?
right.
But if something's going on with your neural pathways
Mhm.
and you're stuck where you can't get it out of that mindset that you're
Mhm.
in, depression, whatever it is,
Right.
suicidal, and this particular drug can help you with microdosing or however it works, either one of those things, whether it's psilocybin
The
or
problem-
it's DMT, LSD, whatever it might be. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying the problem with I think it's a better alternative because the problem is, and I'm not saying don't take, again, if you have a mental illness, if you have mental issues and you got to take pharmaceuticals, by all means. I'm not
Yes,
saying
take
don't
'em.
take them.
Right.
But what I'm saying is there's a lot of side effects to them. You know, you get weight gain, doesn't work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't work.
Right.
You know, like that's there's a lot of like side effects.
Negative stuff, yeah.
And
you
if
gotta
you could
deal with that.
avoid that
Right.
and mitigate that, why not?
Right, because 9 times out of 10, that one drug, like you were just saying, well, we have this other one, you could take that along with it. And this will help take care of the other side of it.
Right,
Jeff.
yeah.
Like,
You're like, yeah,
and
that's
so you
just more
put
lab
top
drugs.
insane. It doesn't make any sense. You know,
Right.
it's ridiculous.
If,
Like,
if
Yeah.
there's an alternative that can avoid that, then
Right.
I
Now-
don't see that as a problem.
Right.
Tom was saying about neuroplasticity and the brain repair. Research demonstrates that DMT acts as a powerful psychoplastogen, physically stimulating the brain to grow new neural connections and spin new synapses, helping the brain escape toxin and repetitive thoughts and loops. In other words, sometimes we get caught, like even us,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everyday stuff. You know, you get that thing in your head. Sometimes you can't stop thinking about it, or something's going on in your life, and you're like,
mhm.
"Oh fuck, I need to really stop thinking about this because it's driving me bananas." You know,
Right.
whatever it's a negative thought or something, somebody
Intrusive
pissed you
thoughts,
off,
right?
or-
That's
Right,
the word.
right.
Intrusive thoughts.
right?
Yeah.
And it's just you got to get, and it helps that get you out of that, which is amazing. you know, that it could do that. The brain is an amazing thing, though, when you think
Right,
about it, because there's so much more to the brain that we have no clue. And now they're really finding out more because of these.
They still don't know where consciousness comes from in the brain.
And they're still working on that.
You know, there's a
They're
lot of
still working
theories
on
that
that.
it doesn't come from the brain.
Right.
But, you know,
Where does it come from? What's the theory?
outside somewhere.
So it's like
Or like remote controls.
An alternate dimension.
right.
That's
Gotcha.
a theory. You know,
Right.
That's
yeah.
a very, what's the word I'm looking for? I forget what the word is
Alien-esque?
for. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
But you remember you say so. I guess, I mean, again, me hearing what you guys are saying and everything that I've known, it almost feels hard to believe in a sense. You know what I
because
mean?
we were told so many years. This
Right,
was bad
what
for
it
you.
was.
You're hearing
and-
one side of it.
Right. And then, you know, you see the crackheads, you see people who are junkies in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but you're
Well,
talking about drugs that are not.
But what I'm saying is that's what these
They
drugs that you're talking
associated
about
with
have been associated with.
associated
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
So then now it's like, yo, for real, like you can really take, you know, a little bit of this stuff and it could help you
Yeah,
out.
it's like you got.
It could feel like
It's
this.
like like they lump it with the same thing with
Right.
you know, someone doing heroin's got scars all over the
Yeah,
face
right,
and all
yeah.
fucked up. Their
Uh-huh.
teeth are,
With, you know,
and it's just not.
It's
just
not.
It's
Right.
just
You know what I mean?
not the same.
and of
thing.
course, if you do too much of anything,
anything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's bad for you.
it's going to have a side effect.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why if you're going to do this, you definitely should have a trip sitter and be guided through
That's
it.
why I like that one guy. We follow him on our channel. He's like a rabbi, but he talks about some real shit.
I know which one you're talking about.
And he's like the drug. He goes, I got a lot of shit for this. He doesn't say shit, but he goes,
Yeah.
he goes, the drug isn't the problem. It's the solution. He goes, but the solution will mess your body up.
Right.
He goes, because that's what the thing is. He goes, you know, people who have drug problems, it goes, they don't become addicted because, you know, they have problems and they're trying to find a
Right.
solution. That's what
They're trying to get away from the pain,
yeah.
and
Right.
that's what's helping it.
Right.
But at the same time, it's causing more problems.
Yeah.
All right. So
Because
now,
they're abusing their body.
It's not a good solution, but it is a solution.
Opioids,
You know what I mean?
and
And that's the
those
thing
kind
no
of
one
drugs.
and that's the thing no one wants to admit. It's like, yeah, it's bad for them, but like they're seeking help.
Right.
right.
That's the thing.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
and no one wants to admit that. It's like, oh, bad.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a sec. They're trying to get help, so why not
help them in
help
some
them
way,
in a
shape, or form.
different way? You know,
Right.
help.
Now, my next question.
You can't just say don't do it. They haven't.
Yeah.
They still have the fucking problem.
Right.
You know
and
what I
you're not
mean?
gonna help them
Whatever
do the
the
problem.
reason they
Yeah.
were
Like,
taking the drugs
muscle
for.
through with it. You know, put your
You know,
big
it's
boy
like,
pants on
it's
and
like,
fucking
oh
get
yeah,
through this
fuck
shit.
your trauma. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Right. There's no trauma. It's
Yeah.
just you grow the fuck up kind of shit. So now here it is where I know of people who have been drug users, and then when they stop, they get older. Now their bodies are falling apart. Right. Granted, it was because they were using the drugs
Right.
and they were using it to the excess.
Right.
Right. So now
To the point where
using
they can't stop. They need it all the time.
so that then now
like alcohol.
microdosing, right? So let's just say, you know, because of how we've been speaking on it, you are microdosing on some of this stuff that you guys are talking about, that's good for you. And say if you do it for 5 years, you know, you're microdosing and
I don't even
however
think
it
it's
is.
that long.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, whatever it is,
Yeah, yeah.
however long it is for whichever one that you're microdosing with, you know,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
using
yeah.
5 years as a number because of what we believe certain illnesses and,
Right.
you know, things to be and whatever. That now when you stop doing the drug, does your body then deteriorate?
No,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
it's more beneficial because it's helping you rewire certain neural pathways. It's helping you get over whatever
that's
is going on in your life, even
that's-
physically.
Okay.
Forget about even the mental part, but physically. So what you're doing is you're trying to get to a place where you don't have to worry about you're going to have to keep using it because you're not going to think about, oh, I want it again. You're
Right.
not going to want it because you are in a good place now. You feel better.
Gotcha.
And that's where it gets you. Go ahead, Tom.
But that's
I'm sorry.
the beauty of it is because, like, you know, you look at pharmaceuticals, like, oh, you got to take this the rest of your life.
Real life,
Yeah.
Same with
But it's like-
statins.
But like,
Right.
it's like, oh, you got to take this the rest of your life, and it's like, well, these are psychedelics. You got to take them a few times, and you're cured. But they can't use the word cured because
Right.
it's like, isn't that funny? That like that's such a dirty word in the
Right.
scientific
Yeah,
community.
yeah.
It's like cured. Like, no, it does fucking cure it. And
Right.
like that, no one wants to use that word because it's like such a because and it's honestly, I'm gonna get conspiratorial. That's the pharmaceutical company controlling things.
Right,
It's like, oh, we don't want to use the word cure because then we can't charge you every fucking week
Right.
at the pharmacy.
But you can't
you know?
make that promise on anything regardless, only because what works on you, your tolerance level is different than what mine is, than what's different
Right.
and
So
different
they
from
would
yours.
know.
So then
They
you
start
can't
you off
say,
at this, but they start whatever therapy that you need. So you're actually helping yourself because you're dealing with the therapy, you're dealing with the issue you might have or the trauma that whatever happened in your life.
right,
And that microdosing is helping you to deal with it rather than run away from it. Where most people take drugs like heroin or opioids and get out of pain, they're not dealing with anything. They're just
Gotcha.
trying to mask the pain.
Mhm.
See with
right,
alcohol.
right.
See with alcohol, right?
Yeah,
You're masking it. With this, you're confronting what's
Exactly.
going on, but you're able
Exactly.
to deal with it.
Same thing with that guy said. The alcohol is the solution for them.
Right.
It's not a
Right.
good solution, but
it's
It's
a
the
solution,
solution, right.
for that moment.
For that moment. And then what happens? They wind up having another drug.
Yeah,
Right?
right,
And it gets
right.
worse and it just
Right,
snowballs.
spirals in your body, like I said, it's falling
Right.
apart and all that other
Exactly.
shit. And
You know, it's
Yeah.
just, it's good that we're starting to be more open about it.
mhm.
And those things are starting to come to light where it's like, oh, wait a minute. It's not what
I'm
we
curious
thought
to
it
see
was
what
or what they said it
Right,
was.
right.
I'm
Yeah.
curious
know?
to see what happens in the next like 20 years. I'm really.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
curious.
I don't even know if we're going to go that far.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying the next 5, 10 years.
I
You know?
mean, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like 20 years from now, it might even be more stuff they're going to find out. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
As
But
far
you
as
know
the
what I mean?
brain is concerned, where they might be able to, unlock certain things or areas of your brain that you
Mhm.
weren't able to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
because it's funny. So, like today, I was watching this on the news. They were showing this guy who, when he was younger, he dove into a shallow pool or whatever it was and broke his neck. So he was paralyzed pretty much from the neck down or from the chest down, something like that. So he wasn't able to move his hands or whatever.
Mhm.
So they hooked him up. AI put a computer in his brain. So now he can actually, with the AI, it's making that connection to his muscles and
Okay.
stuff to be able to do these things.
right.
So now, instead of having to have that surgery, cutting his head open, plugging shit into
They
his
might be
brain,
able to use
from what you
psilocybin
guys
or-
are saying,
or
that this would be
LSD
a
or any of those
rewiring
things,
and
yeah.
whatnot to be able to,
because the
to
brain
do
will
that
find
shit.
a way.
And that's
And
what
they're
they're
also
saying.
using it on stroke patients too.
Right. That's what they were saying with this particular brain
Right.
plug thing that they had. But the
Yeah, they
same
got
thing
the
with
aphasia and all that where they can't speak.
Right. Yeah. Right. And all that. And people that are deaf, they can't hear. Kids, people that they turn around, they can connect or reconnect them being able to hear.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, what you guys are saying.
It'll just find
is
another
legit.
connection.
You
It'll
know what?
find
That's
another way.
That's a fucked up thing that happens to people with strokes, the aphasia.
Right.
Because to them, they're talking, but it's
But-
not.
Yeah. To you,
So
yeah.
there was a
out
guy
there.
I used to work in a hospital. I used to work and I had a large long-term care facility. And there was a guy every time he'd come up to me, go da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da da da. He would talk and I'd be like, what? He'd be like da 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 da, and I'd be like, what? He'd be like da. He thought. I mean, even though
Because in here,
in here
he
he's
can hear what he's
speaking.
saying.
Right. He can
Just
hear it.
something-
Right.
Some wires get crossed, so that would make sense.
Right.
If it opens up neural pathways,
Right.
who knows?
Right.
Maybe that can fix their
Yeah.
aphasia. I
Right.
don't know if there's research. I'm sure there's research being done on that.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just happy that they're actually finding other ways other than creating something like they do with drugs now and just having people take the same shit over and over again that's really not doing anything but
Right.
just kind of getting you through life,
Right.
where this will actually help with
Mhm.
therapy and physically helping you, get over whatever it is that you had or whatever trauma you may have had in your
Right.
life.
Right.
Whether it's physical or both physical, people who were abused sexually or who had bad parents when they were growing up, whatever it might have been. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's amazing that this stuff is coming to light now and then it's getting more and more popular. A lot of states are adopting it now. I think New Jersey was one.
Really?
With the psilocybin,
Okay.
I think New York is going to be another. And out west, I think they're a little bit more ahead of us.
Well, they have been because,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at, they were talking back in the day how marijuana was going to be able to help people with seizures, and it was helping them, and
Right.
people had to relocate out west
What's
for that shit.
crazy too is on Facebook. There's all these like mushroom growing groups, and like you go into and like you think you're going to be like, oh, they're growing shiitake mushrooms. It's all they all have
yeah.
blue in them, and,
Yeah.
and if mushrooms have blue in them, that's the psilocybin. The
Understood.
like, yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
yummy.
Yeah, right? Yeah, the whole thing. Not the whole thing. Yeah, shit.
Because I wanted to grow morels. I wanted to, I was like looking at doing that, and like,
Right.
they're all people just growing psilocybin.
The psilocybin.
Fucking hilarious.
That's amazing.
bro.
To grow.
And they have chat rooms. They have trip chat rooms, and you can go and you can find people that will help you trip.
Right.
In other words, they'll be a trip sitter. They'll
yeah.
come and they'll sit
Yeah,
with
those
you.
things, I've
and
heard
yeah,
that
it's
shit for
amazing.
years about people doing that stuff.
Yeah, just so you know you're in a safe place. And
Right,
You really
yeah.
should do it when you're with someone.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
So
somebody you
because-
trust and
And
whatnot.
then they kind of guide you and they're talking
Right.
to you. And it's not a matter of them saying, It's just having that normal conversation with
Mhm.
you and getting
Yeah,
you out
right.
of that mindset
Just keeping you straight.
and keeping you in a more positive mindset.
Yeah, that makes
Absolutely.
sense. That makes
So,
sense. Well,
yeah.
well,
We
excellent.
had a cool episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that
great.
was. Yep. But we gotta reiterate: do not do any drugs without going to speak to your doctor,
Yeah,
your
right,
therapist, psychiatrist.
But yeah,
Don't go and
don't
just
stop
don't get off.
taking your
Right.
medication.
Don't stop
Like,
any of
we're
your
not, we're,
medication.
of course, we're not
Disclaimer.
in
Yeah,
any
we're not
way doing that. We're
experts.
just
Yeah.
sharing what's
we've heard.
positive
Mhm.
input we're getting now and finding out about these sort of
Yeah. This
alternative
is just a
therapies.
PSA kind of thing,
Right.
like,
So
yeah, these are
if you
things that we
can and
found
you
out.
think
and
it's good, right?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
100%. Entertainment purposes, go and talk and ask the questions. And that's on anything and everything. Ask the questions, find out.
Right.
Don't just do whatever without making sure that you're going to be okay on
Right.
the other end.
Exactly.
Everybody wants, we need everybody to be okay, period. So with that, thank you all for listening and watching and following and like and hit the button and all that
Find us
other good
wherever
shit.
you listen to your
Subscribe.
podcasts.
Yup, all that good shit. Thank you. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And may the force be with you.
Holla!